evening, everybody. Hello, my beloved children of darkness. How's everybody doing? We're not going to stay in the chat window for too long because we're just going to dive right into it because we're not playing a game today. We're just going to be working on some artwork today. So, let's move over here. Give me 1 second. Let me make this. Make it bigger for everyone. La la la. La, la. So, tonight I'm going to be drawing my friend. I'm going to be drawing my friend Naiya, which is a lot of fun for me. I'm going to do a chibi of her. Let's see, right about... yeah, there we go. Aha! Aha! So, we will be drawing today. Get my tablet out here. I also have some music playing in the background today, so if the music gets too loud, you guys just let me know and I can turn it down. So. Alright, got my tablet here. So yeah, you know what, I'm really excited because I'm hoping that my friend Naiya... I'm hoping that my friend Naiya will be having her VTuber debut soon. And so I was like, you know what? I want to draw more pictures of her. I've drawn some pictures of her before, but I wanted to do like a little chibi because I love drawing chibis. Love drawing chibis. They're just so much fun. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. I always start with the eyes. I don't know if you guys... I've only ever had one other drawing stream here, but that's one thing that you guys will come to know for me is that I always start by drawing the eyes. And you know what? They say that eyes are the window to the soul. And Naiya has such pretty eyes. She's got very sleepy eyes. She's got such thick eyelashes. She's so pretty. I met her right around the time when I was planning to come to Earth. And it was just so cool because she became my first friend on Earth. She's got really thick eyelashes. And her eyes always look like she's a little bit sleepy. It's actually really cute about her. Also, hello, Captain. I hope you're doing well this evening. So I was thinking earlier about what might be interesting to talk about during the stream, and I was thinking about as I often do. I was thinking about movies. And I was thinking more specifically, obviously, because you guys know that my favorite types of movies are horror movies. So I was thinking about, like, what was the first horror movie I remember seeing? And, like, I was genuinely trying to remember because I could remember horror movies that came about, like, when I was a little bit older. But, like, I'm thinking, you know, what was my first exposure to something really, really genuinely scary? And I think I figured it out. I think I figured out with the first horror movie. I didn't actually watch it, but it was when I was a little baby demon. I used to sometimes sleep in my parents' bedroom, because either I had a nightmare or something like that. You know how little babies are. So I think I must have been about the human equivalent of 5 years old, like really, really, really little. And it was late at night. My parents were watching TV. I was trying to go to sleep, and my dad was watching Aliens. But it wasn't like the beginning of the movie. It wasn't the beginning of the movie. It was like almost like the last 20 minutes. And if you haven't seen the movie Aliens, this will be a little bit of a spoiler. So if you don't want spoilers, cover your ears. But there's a scene with a character named Bishop, and Bishop is a robot, right? But I didn't know this because oh, I'm lagging? Oh, hold on, let me check my latency. It says that it's okay. It says I got good condition. It might just be my webcam. Sometimes my webcam acts up, but yeah, so Bishop is a robot, but I didn't know this because I hadn't watched the movie. I just kind of walked into my parents' room, asked if I could sleep on the floor, and they said yes. So Bishop is talking to the character of Ellen Ripley, who's the main character, and she's saying, "Oh, you did a good job," or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Bishop gets impaled on what ends up being the sharp tail of the alien queen in the movie. And I remember. I mean, I like I said, I wasn't watching the movie, but you know, I was half asleep, and I was kind of, you know, all of a sudden I'm hearing like, ugh, and like Bishop is being impaled, and then he gets ripped in half, and he's like his like blood in the movie is white because he's a robot. It's like an organic material, but I didn't know this, and so I thought I just saw a man get ripped in half. And I can remember that moment stuck with me for years afterwards. Like, just remember seeing that and thinking maybe I had dreamed it, only to find out no, it was an actual movie. It wasn't a nightmare. And then when I finally saw Aliens, you know, when I was much older, when I finally saw Aliens, I was like, oh, this is the scene. This is the scene I remember. It's where he gets ripped in half, and he's fine. He lives because he's a robot. Like, he's an android. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't die from being ripped in half. But of course, I didn't know that as a child. But I think that's the first horror movie I can remember. What about you, Captain? Do you remember what your first horror movie was? Like, you don't even have to have like actually seen the full thing, but do you remember a moment where you're like, oh wow, I was really young and I remember watching this horror movie? Because there were a couple others I think that I must have watched, but I don't remember if I actually knew they were horror movies, or a lot of times what my parents would do is if a movie was like for adults, like for instance Terminator 2. My dad used to watch Terminator 2. If he was watching Terminator 2, he would make me and my brothers leave the room during the really violent parts. So I'd only seen like maybe 30% of the movie until I was an adult and I was allowed to watch it by myself. So it's very, very funny to remember stuff like that. And another thing he would do is if a movie had a lot of cursing in it, he would either cover our ears during the cursing part, or he would, whenever they were saying curse words, he would go like he would make noises. He would make noises to censor the cursing. Oh, so you used to watch scary movies when your parents were asleep? That's sneaky. That's sneaky. Oh, and then there were like there was always like the accidental horror movies. Like I'm sure you'll remember, being a child and maybe having cable growing up, and you'd be, oh, I'm gonna switch around and see what's on TV because there's no cartoons on, and then you'd find a movie and be like, oh, well, this could be an interesting movie, and then it ends up being a horror movie, and then you accidentally see something traumatic. Oh, man. Oh, you remember saying, shut up, I'm trying to listen? Oh, man. I believe it or not, I have not yet watched the first Evil Dead movie. I've only seen the third one. And I saw it because I thought it was a Harryhausen movie at first, which doesn't make any sense because I think Harryhausen was dead by that point. But I saw, like, there's the part with the skeletons where Ash is fighting the skeletons, which is an homage to Harryhausen. But I remember seeing that part when I was really little and being like, oh, is this a Harryhausen movie? Is this Jason and the Argonauts? But obviously it didn't look like Jason and the Argonauts. Oh, I have another one I remember. So this was not one I have watched. I have not watched this, but it's on my list and I plan to watch it. But I remember seeing the scene when I was very, very little. So the scene I will paint for you now. It's a pool or it's a Halloween party, and there are these little kids, probably around 7 to 6 years old, right? And they're dressed like pirates, and it's a Halloween party, and they go outside to the pool, and they're gonna make their little friend walk the plank, which is basically just, go off the diving board. No big deal, but just harmless fun. Haha. Oh, you're gonna walk the plank. You're a bad pirate. And then the pool lights come on. The little lights that would light up, just to illuminate the pool at night if you were having a late night swim or whatever. So the pool lights up, and there's a shot of the pool of what's underneath the water, and there's an alligator at the bottom of the pool with its mouth open. And the little kid, he's blindfolded, but like one of his eyes is uncovered from the blindfold, and he screams right as the kids push him into the pool, and then you see like these jaws kind of close around the kid, and then all this blood starts coming up from the pool. And I was really little when I saw this scene, and I was like, ah. It was so scary. And I just remember when I grew up, I was like, oh my gosh, what was this movie? And I found it recently. It's a really old, really crappy cable movie called Alligator. And it's about an alligator that mutated in the sewers due to some sort of, I don't know, exposure to chemicals or something. It was just on cable. And our television in our castle in the underworld was in the we had like a finished basement, and so I would go into the finished basement to watch television, and Mom and Dad weren't there because they were upstairs. Dad was at work, and Mom was I don't know, just doing stuff, and so I was just, they thought I was probably watching something like SpongeBob or but yeah, so here's the funny thing. Recently I looked up that scene because I really wanted to know what the scene was, and it's almost exactly like how I remember it. But the funny thing about it is that I remember it looking better. Like I remember it looking like Jaws or something, like really cinematic, really well lit. But in reality, it's just a really crappy made-for-TV movie, so it just looks like garbage. It looks like something that would come on TGI Fridays on like ABC back in the day. So it's so funny. It's so funny the things you remember, and then when you see them later, like comparing them to whether or not they're actually like that. You know, was it that scary? Did it look that good? Because I think sometimes when you're really young, you can remember things, but you can't necessarily remember the fine details. So it's always fun to see those fine details again later. No, it was because they weren't doing anything like that, Captain. This is because it was during the day, so my dad was at work. Yeah, I just remember that scene. But, yeah, it's funny to remember that stuff. I know that one of my brothers saw the movie Gremlins when he was far too young to watch Gremlins. Like, we're talking, he was, like, I don't know, a human equivalent of, like, 4. Because he said, I was there, but I don't remember it, so it must have been a point when I was so young that I didn't retain memory. So he remembers watching when the little Mogwai turned into gremlins, and it traumatized him, and he couldn't bring himself to watch Gremlins again, or to, like, confront his fears until he was a grown man. Like, that's how much it trauma. Like, he just remembered it was so scary, and then when he watched it as a grown man, he was like, oh, this isn't scary at all. He's like, this is fine. I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that. I remember one time, another funny instance. This isn't really a scary movie, but you can see why it would have been scary for me at the time. So my mother went to visit her mother, and so my dad was looking after me and my siblings, and he says, hey guys, do you want to watch a movie? And I said, yes. And everybody's like, oh yeah, we want to watch a movie. He's like, okay, I have this new movie and we can watch it, but you can't tell your mother I showed it to you. And we're like, what kind of movie is it, Dad? And it was Jurassic Park. But we were really, really little, and so it, you know, they tried to be careful with what they showed us, which is weird to think of. Like, they tried to be careful with what they showed us, but at the same time, I used to watch Terminator 2 with my dad, and for some reason Terminator 2 was okay, but Jurassic Park wasn't. I don't know. I can't remember I can't remember why something was okay and why the other thing wasn't. But he was like, you can't tell your mother that you watched this because this movie is kind of scary. And we said, okay, we won't tell her. And then we watched Jurassic Park, and of course, we loved it. Because we love dinosaurs. But then, of course, all of us had nightmares that night because of all the people getting eaten by the dinosaurs. So mom came home, and the first thing out of one of my brother's mouths was, you know, we watched Jurassic Park. And mom was like, what? And she was so mad, and my dad just kind of did like a face plant, or not a face plant, what do they call it when you, a face palm. He did a face palm, like, oh no, she's gonna kill me. And then we all had nightmares then. We all had nightmares. And we all had nightmares about being eaten by dinosaurs. Oh, it was a simpler time. Oh, do you remember those really innocent days when, like, something like Jurassic Park was too scary for you, and, like, now everybody watches, like, these horrible, horrible movies with murder and monsters and stuff, and I just remember, I was talking with a friend's daughter the other day, and I was wearing a t-shirt with oh, what was on the t-shirt? Oh, it's a weird t-shirt. It was a chest burster, so like Alien again. It was a chest burster, but it was a chest burster that had been prepared into sushi. It's really hard to describe, but that's what it was. So I was wearing that, and the little girl, she couldn't have been more than, gosh, how old was she? She couldn't have been more than like 8. And she came up to me and she's like, "Oh, is that a chest burster? I love those things." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "I love the movie Alien." And I kind of looked at her mother, and her mother just kind of shrugged. And the first thing I thought was, you're 8 years old and you're allowed to watch Alien? Which, I mean, you know, that's up to the parent, obviously. It's none of my business. But I just remember being so surprised. But then I kind of thought about it. And I guess, like, with the way things are now, with, like, you know, media and internet and all that stuff, you know, we have so much more access to things than we did 20 years ago. And, you know, they could see images of a chest burster on a Google image search just from searching something like My Little Pony, or, you know, something innocuous and innocent. They could get a horrible demon creature. And so I think there is this sort of, yeah, kids are tough. They can. I you know, I don't want to say I underestimate kids, because I don't, but, like, I guess with how my parents, and, you know, it's funny, because, you know, you would think the Lord of the Underworld and his wife would be like, "Oh, our children can watch whatever they want, it'll harden them up." But no, my parents were really strict, super duper strict on what we watched. So it's just kind of funny to think about, you know, me being like, "Oh, is this appropriate for the kids?" When normally you would think I'd be all like, "Oh yeah, show them the horrible images, traumatize them for life." I'm like, no, let's not do that. That's a horrible idea. I think I made her neck a little bit thick. There we go. But yeah, it's just funny funny things like that I remember. I'm trying to think of another horror movie that left an impression on me. I don't know if I think maybe the movie, like the mini-series, not the new movies, but the mini-series of It. I thought that was scary when I was little. But I used to be really scared of spiders. I'm not scared of spiders anymore, unless, like, they fall on me and I'm not expecting it. Then I'm like, "Ah! Spider!" But, like, nowadays, if I see a spider, I'm like, "Oh, look, spider." And as long as it stays over there and I'm over here, I'm fine. But, the end of the movie It, because I didn't see the beginning until I was older, but the end of the movie, when you see, like, the big kind of animatronic stop-motion spidery demon, that scared me as a kid. Also the movie The Haunting, but not the original one, the one from the 1990s. That one scared me, which is hilarious because I watched it recently and it is trash. It is one of the biggest pieces of garbage I've ever seen, and I love it. I love it so much. It's so bad, but I love it. Oh. It's fun to have movies that you dislike, and you watch them and you're like, "Oh yeah, this movie's trash, but it's so much fun." I love stuff like that. Naiya, she is my friend. She's a crocodile girl. Yeah, let's draw her belly. belly. Are there any good movies anybody's watched recently? I just saw Godzilla vs. Kong, and that was fantastic. I mean, it's not like it's like an amazing Oscar-winning movie or anything, but man, was it fun. It was fun. The monster fights were well done. They weren't obscured by a lot of dust or noise or anything. They were just like, here's a monster, here's this monster punching this other monster, and I was like, yay! Monster fights! It was a blast. I'm also looking forward to seeing Mortal Kombat. And I'm wondering if they're gonna do any cool, like if they're gonna do like a cool remix of the Mortal Kombat song. Dun 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 dun. Mortal Kombat. Hitting the wrong button. Stop it. Oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering which program I'm using to draw, I'm using Paint Tool Sai. If you couldn't see the Paint Tool Sai up above. One thing I've been doing recently is I've been watching movies that have been on my list. So movies that I've never seen, but that I've always wanted to see, whether they be comedies or horror movies or, you know, animated movies or something. I've been trying to go through my list recently. And one of the movies I saw most recently was a movie called Top Secret. And Top Secret is made by the Zucker brothers, and they're, oh gosh, the other director who I can never remember his name. But they're the same people who made the comedies Airplane or The Naked Gun. And so Top Secret is a movie that's it's parody of like movies that featured like Elvis Presley, and it's a musical for one, which was interesting. But it evidently was Val Kilmer's first film. And Val Kilmer now is like a big movie person. So it was really interesting to see Val Kilmer, one, so young, and two, know that this was his first movie, because he was so natural. Like, he was so 100% natural. And it just seemed like he'd always been there. But that was really interesting. Oh, Creepshow. Ooh, that's one I haven't seen yet. I need to see Creepshow. You know what I just got? I just got Monster Squad. So I'm gonna be watching Monster Squad very soon. I bought a monster movie pack that had Monster Squad, The Relic, Prophecy, and then something else. I don't remember what the other one was, but I've already seen The Relic. I love The Relic. The Relic is really good because it's I guess it's based off of a novel or a novella, a short story or something. But they kind of took the premise and they did their own thing with it, which I always appreciate sometimes. Like sometimes I get angry or I get annoyed when they take something that's really well known and something I've been looking forward to seeing adapted, and then they just kind of don't do a very good job with it. Or they do its own thing, because I'm like, well, why didn't you just make your own original story? Like, don't make an adaptation of something if you're just gonna do something original. That's not an adaptation. That's just doing something original. And then just using the same names as, you know, people from another story. Monster Squad is everything I've heard about Monster Squad is that it's great, and that I think it was Stan Winston who did all the monsters in it. I've heard that he just did a really good job coming up with designs for the monsters, because, you know, obviously he had to make creatures based off ones that everybody was really, you know, familiar with from, you know, Hammer Horror or from Universal Horror, but that, you know, he just showed up and he delivered, or the people delivered. I'm not sure if Stan Winston himself directly worked on the movie, but the people in his studio certainly did. Actually, I think I'm just gonna duplicate this leg, because I just want it to be the same size, so maybe I'll just do that. This is what I do if I'm making something that is supposed to look identical, and I just I don't want to have to redraw it a second time. It just kind of saves a lot of time. Sort of like when you're making a 3D model and you want one side of the 3D model to look identical to the other side of the 3D model. I'm gonna have a sip here. I got some Mountain Dew. The greatest of all human sodas is Mountain Dew. It's like 90% food coloring, 10% sugar. Or no, excuse me, reverse that. 90% sugar, 10% food coloring. Tasty. What is Mountain Dew supposed to taste like? Like, what is... I mean, I know it's supposed to be like a lemon lime soda, but, like, honestly, there's nothing on this earth that tastes the way Mountain Dew does. I hope that one day I had a really funny thought. Because I was, as I often do, I was thinking about aliens. I don't know why. I like to think about aliens. It's just a thing I do. I was thinking about, you know, let's say that human civilization, hopefully it never will, but let's say hypothetically, human civilization dies out, right? And then years later, years and years and years, aliens come to Earth and they find things on Earth, and they use what they can find to to kind of figure out what humans were like. And I was thinking, like, let's say they are trying to understand what kind of food we ate, or what kind of food, or what kind of drinks we drank, things like that. And one of the things they find are recipes for soda. Like, they don't know that we drank water. They don't know that humans drank, wine or anything like that. All they find is recipes for soda. So their only like reference to how, oh, well, this is what limes tasted like, or this is what lemons tasted like, is not based off like the actual fruit. It's based off of like a soda recipe. And they're like, oh, why would anybody like lemons? This tastes like garbage. That sounds like such a funny premise that surely that must be in like some sort of novel or something. People trying to find out what humans, like how the taste buds worked on a human or something, but their only references are like this awful like junk food or something. I think that'd be great. I love that idea, because junk food will survive. We put so many preservatives in it. There's no doubt in my mind that a Jaffa cake will survive longer than human civilization. And as well it should, because Jaffa cakes are delicious. Oh, yeah! Eldritch, you're so right. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Well, look at what happened with Pompeii. Do you know what happened when they found Pompeii? Like, all the stuff they found a lot of, like, lewd pictures and stuff. It survived. Like, all of these statues and all of these portraits and all of these graffiti and things, that survived even after Pompeii the city was destroyed. So you're exactly right. That's what they're gonna find, and they're gonna be really confused. Or they're gonna be really intrigued, which is another thing that could happen. They're gonna write historical fanfiction. Oh, historical fanfiction. I remember one time I was with some of my girlfriends in the underworld, and we were trying to think of like the weirdest pairings. Like, we were going through a fanfiction phase, and we were like, oh, what's the weirdest pairing you can think of, or what's this, that, and the other. And we're like, well, instead of that, why don't we just for a laugh go onto the fanfiction websites and find the weirdest things, the most obscure things we can find that somebody has written fanfiction about. So we went through all of the, like, the fandoms or whatever, and we found fanfiction for the Bible. We didn't read it, because at that point we were like, humanity's dead. Humanity's civilization is dead. But we did. We found fanfiction for the Bible. Oh my gosh. And we were just like, oh my gosh, like how you either have to be like a stone cold atheist, or you have to just view the Bible as a story, which, there's many people who do. They just look at it the same way that a lot of people would look at Greek mythology or Greek literature or something and be like, oh, well, this is just mythos. Some people look at the Bible the same way, which is, why not? And just the fact that not only did somebody look at it that way, they also then wrote fan fiction. Though I would love, oh man, I wish I could find it now, because I think the website where we found it is defunct now. I don't think it's there anymore. But oh man, I would almost wish that I could go back in time and read it, because I just want to know. I want to know what it was about and what happened to it. I really do. And I'll never know now. I don't know. That's the thing, Eldritch. I don't know. It was more, I think it was more that we just found the category of the Bible as being one of the fandoms. And that, like, you know, there was like at least 2 fanfic, because I think in order for it to even show up as a category on this particular website, you have to have more than 1 fanfiction. And the funny thing is that I'm almost, I could be remembering incorrectly, but I feel like there was definitely more than 1 author. So it wasn't just like 1 person on the website who was like, you know what, I'm gonna write some fanfiction of the Bible. It was like, it was at least 2 people. 2 to 3 people had written fanfiction for the Bible. Oh man, it's so good. It's so funny. Oh, I wish I could find it. I wish. Maybe one day, if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll do a Google search and see if I can find something, but today is not that day. Oh, man. Good memories, though. Good memories. But, like, examples of things that we found. This is when we were looking for obscure pairings. Like, we were like, what's the weirdest pairing we could think of? And we came up with a couple that are, like, kind of obvious, like weird creature pairings or whatever, or, like, somebody being a vampire or something like that. But I think one of the funnier ones that we found was, like, a Legolas and Treebeard fanfiction. The one we did find, the one that's like really infamous. It was the Hogwarts castle and the giant squid. That's a fan fiction. If you could find that one, then you know, I'm sorry, because that one is so bad. It's so bad. But we found that one. We found the Legolas and Treebeard. What else did we find? I don't remember. I feel like there was one other we found, but I can't remember what it was. And it wasn't like we didn't think, oh, well, let's search for this pairing. It was more like we were doing Google searches for strange fanfiction pairings. Like we typed in like weird fanfiction pairing, and then we'd go to there'd be like top 10 lists or like top 5 lists. And yeah, so that's what we did. It was just so funny. It's such a fun thing to do with your friends. Like if you're ever in the mood, like if you're feeling silly, and you could get together with your friends and you could just do something goofy like that, it's totally worth it. Just funny old fanfiction pairings. It's just something, there's something so pure and innocent about being goofy. Yeah, true. True. Better save. Better save. Wouldn't want to lose this. Gonna take another sip of Mountain Dew. Delicious and very bad for you. I'm a demon though. What do I care? Do any of you like documentaries? I was watching an interesting one the other day. Actually, I'm gonna turn down her line art as I do this. yeah, the interesting documentary I watched was about the biggest snake that ever lived, and it was called Titanoboa, and it lived like a couple million years ago, and it was the one that they found was 48 feet long. 48 feet long. Could you imagine? And it would have been closest related to boa constrictors and anacondas. So they think it was probably an aquatic snake like an anaconda. Not necessarily identical to an anaconda, but like, you know, it would have had to be in the water because it would have been so large that like if it was on land, its own weight would probably suffocate it after a while, like sort of like a whale, you know, like that's why whales have to be in the water. It's not just because, you know, they need it, which they do, they're designed to live in it, but also because they're so massive that that if they are outside of the water for too long, they suffocate. So snakes can be very, very similar, and anacondas, and I mean, it's not going to take it, like, you know, it's not going to kill it if it's on land for, you know, a couple hours or something, but, you know, too long, and it becomes such a strain on its organs that, you know, the animal expires. But yeah, this snake was huge, so big, and it would have eaten like 15-foot crocodiles, which is a big crocodile. But yeah, that was a fun documentary. The one problem I have, though, with those types of documentaries is that they always, in order to be sensational, you know, to keep people's attention and keep them watching, they kind of make the animal sound like a monster. It's like, oh, it would have been an insatiable eater, and nothing could stand in its path. And it's like, okay, so you're saying it would have been an insatiable eater that would eat anything, and then you say it ate a crocodile and it might not have to eat again for a year. It's like, stop using hyperbole to describe this animal that was just like any other animal. It was just extraordinarily large. Like, it probably didn't act any differently than any other snake. It was just a really big snake. Doesn't mean it wasn't extraordinary, just means that it was just a bigger snake. So, yeah, I don't like it when they use hyperbole to describe these animals that are just animals. They're not like monsters. Yeah, they were big, they were extraordinary, but they weren't going to act any different than any other animal. Sort of like, you know, everybody being so scared of, you know, everybody being so scared of a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something. It's like, well, it's an animal, so it's going to act like an animal. It's not going to be super hyper intelligent. We know what size its brain was. We have a really good idea of how it acted. So it wouldn't have been any more terrifying than being around an alligator. You just don't go up to the alligator. You just avoid the alligator. It's the same with a T-Rex. You just avoid the T-Rex. Yeah, well, they've done that before. They've done that before, Eldritch, where they've discovered things like in the ocean and things. I think I was watching excuse me, I was watching Blue Planet Blue Planet 2, and they were talking about the deepest that they had ever gone into the Mariana Trench. So deep that they didn't think it was possible for any complicated life to exist, like protozoa and amoebas and, you know, bacteria and stuff notwithstanding. But we're talking like big, like complicated creatures. And what was like the first thing they found? They found a fish. They found the ghost angelfish or something, and it was like this really beautiful thing, and it was deeper than they had ever gone. And they're like, oh, we're not gonna find any complex life forms here. And one of the first things they find is a fish, and they're like, oh, well, I guess this just proves that science doesn't make sense. It's not really what they said, but that was kind of what they said. They were like, well, it just shows that, you know, life, even at places where we think it's impossible, life can survive. Life can find a way. It was a cool looking fish, too. It did look very alien. Kind of reminds me of the movie, The Abyss. Which, if you haven't seen the movie The Abyss, you should, because it's a really fun sci-fi movie. But, yeah, what is the coelacanth? The coelacanth. That was something that is essentially a living fossil. And it's a living fossil. It still exists. The nautilus, the little squids in the shells, they've been around for billions of years. Every time we say there's no way life can exist here, there's no way life can exist there, we find life. And we just need to stop saying life can't exist in places, because it obviously can. We're gonna find lava monsters. I'm telling you what. We're gonna be, one day somebody is gonna be, you know, checking out some lava, and then like a big lizard or something is gonna come out, like Godzilla. And they're gonna be like, oh, well, I guess giant lizards can live in the lava. And then we'll all feel very foolish that we ever thought that they couldn't. I hope that we find, personally, I hope that we find, a living thylacine, or a Tasmanian tiger. Because I want to see a living one. They looked like they were really cool. And I also want humans to stop trying to kill the monk seals. Because I have never seen a monk seal, and I don't want to leave the human plane until I see a monk seal. Oh, whoops. Oh yeah, no, I'm the exact same, Eldritch. I can't watch crime or things like that documentaries. They just upset me. Especially if like certain things were done to the victims. I can't do it. I can't do it. Though I like mysteries. I do enjoy a good mystery. But we're talking like a mystery like, oh, so and so there, we found this strange object, and what does this object mean? Why was it in this house for 50 years? That's fine. I'm okay with that. But like actual like horrible things happening to people, I know it's a little weird for a demon to say this, but I don't like to watch it. It's not my thing. It really isn't. I much prefer to watch, nicer things. Oh yeah, my Uncle Cthulhu is totally at the bottom of the trench. I mean, did you see the movie Underwater? Let's see. Oh, and I have Naiya's character sheet here to help me draw her. I'm also trying to decide what I'm gonna have for dinner later tonight. I did go to the store today. Do, 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 do. Naiya wears a lot of jewelry. It does make her look very pretty though, so. I watched another interesting documentary about alien life, because I love aliens. And the interesting thing that they said in the documentary is when we find other life on planets, which we will do, there's no doubt we will do it, but let's say if we found it like today, the chances are that the life we find will not be above a certain intelligence, because our technology can only reach so far. And so if we found something like, let's say, on Mars or somewhere else, most likely it will not be beyond a certain intelligence. And the reason being is that if it was of a certain intelligence, our technology, while it can't reach very far, can reach to a certain point. And and we would have detected signals by this point. So chances are, even if it is intelligent life, the intelligence probably won't be past like Neanderthal man, or a certain level of understanding, just because if it was, it would have communicated with us by now, or we would have gotten its signals by now. But that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't, more intelligent life. It just means it's probably not close to us. Unless, of course, we have been being abducted and our cows have been stolen and stuff by aliens. If that ends up being the case, then yes, that is intelligent life. But if I do this, something. Oops. Let's see, she's got the diamonds right there. Then she's got another gem there, and then another gem there. Let's see. Yeah, it would be great. Man, finding life on another planet would be amazing. It would be, no pun intended, it would be astronomical. It would be the coolest thing ever. And I think it would be, even if it was just like a bacteria or like some sort of microbial life, that itself would be amazing. I am kind of sad that we haven't found anything yet, but I mean, this universe is immense, absolutely immense. So it's not like we're in any rush, but man, I do hope we find life sometime soon, because I want to see it. Or I hope that we get robots soon. I also would like robots, like actual legit thinking, articulating robots. I know a lot of people are scared of that. I'm not scared of that. Oh, I'm gonna stretch. Ugh. There we go. Do. Second, I'm gonna. Bum 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 bum. Just putting on something to have in the background of my ears, of my wing ears. What should it be? What should it be? What should it be? There we go. How about this? That'll do. Okay. Let's see. I think I may go ahead and draw her hair before I get too much further. Oh, do you guys say further or do you say farther? I feel like I say either depending upon the situation. Let's see. Naiya has really thin eyebrows. So. I'm gonna do another one. Take the same eyebrow. Do 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 do. There we go. Her beautiful eyebrows. You want a big Gundam? Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Do you want to pilot the Gundam, or do you just want to see one? Like, do you just want to see one in person and know that, like, there's a person in that and they're piloting it? I would love to... Well, do I want to pilot a Gundam? I guess it depends on which Gundam it is. If it's like G Gundam, where I have to get into a spandex suit, I don't think I want to be in the spandex suits. You want the crazy robot? I get that. It would be fun. But I feel like I wouldn't be brave enough. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I think I want a robot friend. I would like a robot friend before too long. I would love to have a friend who's a robot. But, you know, I guess here's the problem with that thought process, though. It's like, when I say I want a friend as a robot, my first thought is, oh, I want, like, a robot companion who's, like, with me all the time and will talk to me and be my BFF. And it's like, well, does that mean I just want, like... Do I want, like, a sentient being? Or do I want, like, in my brain, what do I actually want? Like, because... I feel like the way that I think about it, it wouldn't be like a sentient being. It would just, but it would at the same time. It's a romanticism, and I don't think the romanticism is proper. Hmm. Drawing these bangs. Woke up this morning. I have this song stuck in my head. I've had it in my head like all day. Oh, whoops. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Hair's looking good. Hey Eldritch, what's your favorite what is your favorite like Lovecraftian horror story? Yeah, yeah, that's exactly, yeah, Eldritch, I agree. See, that's why I think my thinking about robots is a little bit like, you know, I need to give it more thought. So her beautiful bangs. I think my favorite Lovecraftian horror story is, I really like The Color Out of Space, and I need to see the movie and see if I like it. Shadow over Innsmouth is a classic, but I think I definitely like The Color Out of Space because I like the concept of The Color Out of Space, I think, the best. Even though technically The Color Out of Space is essentially not possible, like, you know, like the idea that there's a spectrum of light that is alive, like, you know, that just shows Lovecraft had no actual scientific knowledge, in addition to being all of his other charming attributes, I say ironically, but I don't know. I do like the idea of a living light form of light. Like that's a cool idea. I mean, and I guess, you know, Star Trek did a lot of things like that. You know, creatures without physical bodies. But I guess it's not too impossible, maybe. Oops. Oh, whoops. Misha, hello! Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am working on this chibi. So I'm doing the hair right now. Oh, whoops. I love Naiya's little crocodile eyes. So cute. I say little, they're actually quite large crocodile eyes. They're actually rather big. Let's see, the braids. Do-do. Do 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 do. Making curry for dinner? What kind of curry are you making? Are you making like a chicken curry or a beef curry or a vegetable curry? Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Beef curry! Mmm. Beef curry, I think, is probably my favorite type of curry to make. I just think beef and the curry and just the flavor of a curry goes so well together. Yeah, you and me both, Eldritch. You and me both. I would love a curry right now. Because then I would love somebody to bring me a curry, because then I won't have to cook tonight. But I'm gonna cook tonight. Oh, good. Erasing. Whoops. Looking good so far. Whoops. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. La 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 la. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bum bum bum. Do 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 do. Bum bum bum. Alright, so I'm gonna flatten what I have first. Because I made about 17 layers here. Alright, and now for the other side of her head. I love Naiya's little adorable eyes. Oh, oops. Do, 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 do. Oh, I totally get you. I totally get you. I always like to make sure that the layers are looking how I'm wanting them to look before I do anything, but I'm also not afraid to redraw something if I have to. So... Why do I have the Pokemon song stuck in my head? Why? I haven't even, like, played Pokemon recently. You know, I have never drawn with an iPad. I'd like to one day, but I I use like an old Intuos. What is this? Is this like a Wacom Intuos? I don't know what it is. I can't even remember. I got it in 2015, I think, is when I got it. Long time ago. You know what I'd love to get? I'd love to get a Cintiq. I thought about getting an iPad recently, but I don't know which one to get. And I don't know, I'm so used to using Psy, I'm like afraid to move to a different program. So, and I don't know if Psy will work on an iPad. You lost your tablet pen? Oh no! That's a fate worse than death. I live in constant fear that one day I'm gonna lose my tablet pen. Plus it's an app. Ah, dang it. See, I'm so used to using Psy. I'm afraid to use anything else. Though, obviously I could. It wouldn't, I mean, I'd adapt, obviously. You know, one thing I always find interesting, I'm just thinking about this, is monster movies and how, like, let's say, I'm gonna give you a hypothetical. Like, let's say that the monster is stalking a boat, but before it stalks the boat, it will have just eaten something. Like, let's say they witness the monster eat a giant tuna, right? Like, they're like, oh my gosh, it just ate that giant tuna, and then suddenly the boat appears, and then the monster goes after the boat. I realize that it's a monster movie, and the monster movie's gonna act like a monster, but I'm always like, it just ate something. Why would it go after the boat and try to eat something that's a lot harder than the tuna it just ate? Like, why would it go after this other thing? Especially if it's so much harder to get to. Like, surely there's more. It's like the expression, there's more fish in the sea. Let's save this. It's like, stop going after the boat. You just ate a tuna. You're fine. There we go. Much better. Do. No, I'll just draw this second. Second line. Hi, Entropy. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. I don't know if I've ever seen this in a movie, but you know how like there'll be sorry, I'm for making everything about movies like usual, but you know how there'll be a movie and there'll be like the dude in it who is like nobody believed him when he said so and so, but now there's proof, and then there'll be the person who like didn't believe him and spread all of these rumors and stuff about him, like, oh, you can't trust him, he'll leave you behind or whatever, and then it's proven that he was right all along, and then that other person is like, so and so, I'm sorry. I'd love it. I would love it if the other person in that situation would then be like, dude, F you. Why don't you screw off and leave me alone? I would love that. That would be so funny. And like they do not accept the other person's apology. Like, it's like, dude, you ruined my life. No, apology not accepted. I would love that. That like never happens. They're always like the bigger person. They're like I forgive you. Or it's like, or you do this thing and we'll call it even. And it's like, I would really love it if like the person was just like, dude, no, screw you. You ruined my life. It's true. You're right, Eldritch. Alright. Let's see, and then looking at Naiya's hair. Singing Pokemon again. It's stuck in my head. Look at how cute she is. She's coming along. You have to go Jesus mode. Yeah. It's true. It's true. Let's see. I'll draw her diamond. Because diamonds are a girl's best friend. Or a crocodile's best friend in this case. Oh, let's see. So Naiya, she's got little diamonds that hold up the top. Put one right here. Oh, oops. And then come down like that. There's a stripe. And our other diamond's gonna be right there. Have it come down like this. Boom, boom, boom. Oops. There we go. See, and then it comes up like this. Whoops. Do. Bum, 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 da, ba, ba, ba. Getting there. We're getting there. Oh, I'm stretching again. Oh. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, so now I'm actually gonna take, which line is it? Is it this one? No. This one? This one. This line. Do 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 do. And make the stripe down here. Right there. Copy. Whoops. Bring this one up like that. Do 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 do. Making a beautiful Naiya. Whoops. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this, boom, like that, and this part, do 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 do. Perfect. All right, bum 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 bum, save. Yeah, I love line arting on Psy. It really is my preferred creation tool. Oh, I forgot to draw her claws. I knew I was forgetting something. This little claw of hers, she's gonna let it shine. This little claw of hers. Perfect. Oh, yeah, remember to draw her little dots. One, two, three, four, five, six. So 6. She's got the little... Lovely. Okay, now I can shape it. Like this. Like this. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Whoops. Do 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 do. Do you guys think it would be less scary or more scary if there was a monster movie with, let's say a shark, and the shark acted like a shark rather than like a monster that just has a shark shape? Because it seems to me like most monster movies where the monster is like an actual animal, the animal does not act like an actual animal. It acts like a super smart creature or a super persistent creature. Do you think it would be more scary or less scary if the shark or the lizard or the tiger or the bear or whatever it is acted like the actual animal would act? Because I was trying to figure that out the other day. I was like, would it be as scary? Though I guess it would depend on the circumstances, I guess. Do. Draw her little part right here. There. I love Naiya's top. It's so pretty. Boom. Boom. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, whoops. Wait, maybe not quite perfect. Hold on. Whoops. Beautiful. This. Whoops. Beautiful. Save that. Lovely. All right, my children of darkness, we've been streaming now for about 2 hours. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I am gonna keep working on this though. So I'll probably actually have this posted on my Twitter account within the next few days because I'm gonna keep working on it because I want to finish this beautiful picture of Naiya. And one reason I want to do it is because in the future I'm hoping to collab with Naiya, and when I do, I want to have Naiya do a little chibi dance with my chibi. So here's my chibi. So I'd love to have Naiya doing like a little dance next to my chibi. And it would just be really, really cute. I am going to adjust her nose just slightly. I'm not going to just going to slant it a little bit. There we go. So I am going to keep working on this. And when I have it finished, I'll post it on Twitter. But our next stream is going to be... let's see. I'm looking at my calendar here. Next stream is actually probably not going to be until next week. And that's because I'm going to be really busy here at the castle. I don't know if I'm going to have another chance to stream until Tuesday next week. If I get a chance and I'm able to, then I will post on Twitter that I will be streaming on, whichever day is decided. But plan to meet back here. We'll meet back here on Tuesday next week. And we're going to continue with Call of Cthulhu. And I think we only have 2 more parts left for Call of Cthulhu, and then we'll finish that up. And then we'll be diving right into the next game. I haven't decided what the next game will be after Call of Cthulhu. I might do another Twitter poll, so you guys stay tuned, and if I don't make an announcement on Twitter, then I'll see you guys here on Tuesday of next week. So until then, everybody, remember, stay spooky. Bye, everybody.